wonderful booktubers. I am here with another book haul. This time I got 5 books. But before we get into that, I want to do a quick update on what happened to my book review for 13 Reasons Why. If you saw my book review for Dash and Lily's Book of Dares, I said that I was going to record the reviews back to back and then post the review for 13 Reasons Why a few days afterwards. And I did record the review. The only problem is that when I was recording the reviews, it was really late. And when it gets really late, I get really delirious and rambly. And the video ended up being like 30 minutes long, and there was no way at all that I was going to edit a 30-minute video. I couldn't do it. So I ended up scrapping it. I am going to record it tonight though. It's not late. So I am going to record the book haul, post the book haul, and then record the review for that. So there's the update on that review. So let's get started with the book haul. This first book I have been wanting to get for a while. Every time I saw it in the bookstore, I wanted to pick it up, but I was waiting for it to come out on paperback because I'm broke. Basically, on the way to the bookstore, I had finally decided, you know what, I'm just going to go ahead and get the book. I'll just get one less book than I planned to get, because I had originally planned to get 5. I set my cutoff limit at 5. But then I was like, well, I'll just get 4 and then splurge on the hardcover. But when I got to the bookstore and found the table that the book was on, lo and behold, the book was out in paperback. It was a hallelujah moment. I did an internal squeal of excitement. That book is Beauty Queens by Libba Bray. I am super excited for this book. I've heard some mixed reviews, but it's been more good than bad, and I've been wanting to read it for a while. But, you know, like I said, I'm broke and couldn't afford the hardcover, but luck was on my side today, and it finally came out on paperback. So I am super excited to read this. Back says, survival of the fittest. The 50 contestants in the Miss Teen Dream Pageant thought this was going to be a fun trip to the beach where they could parade in their state-appropriate costumes and compete in front of the cameras. But sadly, their airplane had another idea, crashing on a desert island and leaving the survivors stranded with little food, little water, and practically no eyeliner. What's a beauty queen to do? Continue to practice for the talent portion of the program, or wrestle snakes to the ground? Get a perfect tan, or learn to run wild? And what should happen when the sexy pirates show up? Welcome to the heart of non-exfoliated darkness. And that is Beauty Queens by Libba Bray. I am extra excited. I've never read anything by Libba Bray before, so we shall see how this goes, but I'm very confident. The next book that we have is The Knife of Never Letting Go by Patrick Ness. It is the first book in the Chaos Walking trilogy. This book has been on my to-read shelf on Goodreads forever and a day. I've been looking for it for a while at the bookstore, but they never had it in stock. They always had the second and third book, but never this one. And this was the last one that they had this time, so I snatched it up in a heartbeat. The back says, Prenticetown isn't like other towns. Everyone can hear everyone else's thoughts in an overwhelming, never-ending stream of noise. Just a month away from the birthday that will make him a man, Todd and his dog, Manchi, whose thoughts Todd can hear too, whether he wants to or not, stumble upon an area of complete silence. They find that in a town where privacy is impossible, something terrible has been hidden. A secret so awful that Todd and Manchi must run for their lives. But how do you escape when your pursuers can hear your every thought? I have literally heard nothing but good things about this book. I've heard on a couple reviews, though, that the way it's written can get a little annoying and take some getting used to, but I can normally get used to a writing style pretty quickly, so we'll see how that goes. But I am super excited for this book. The next book that we have is Unwind by Neal Shusterman. Again, I have heard nothing but good things about this book. The back says, Connor, Reese, and Lev are running for their lives. The Second Civil War was fought over reproductive rights. Their chilling resolution, life is inviolable. Well, I completely butchered that word. From the moment of conception until age 13. Between the ages of 13 and 18, however, parents can have their child unwound, whereby all of the child's organs are transplanted into different donors, so life doesn't technically end. Connor is too difficult for his parents to control. Risa, a ward of the state, is not talented enough to be kept alive. And Lev is a Typh, a child conceived and raised to be unwound. Together they may have a chance to escape and to survive. This book should be controversial to read. We'll get more into the controversy when I do the review. So the next book I am super excited to read. I have been wanting to get into this author for a while, but I just never got around to it. I guess whenever I went to the bookstore, it just always slipped my mind. And I was browsing through the shelves, and I saw this book. And my original plan was to read his books in chronological order. But I checked the shelves, and they didn't have the first or second book that he wrote. And to be quite honest, I was feeling quite lazy today, and I really did not feel like going up to the counter and asking to see if they had it. So I just picked this one up, and we'll go from there. And that book is Paper Towns by John Green. Now, this one I have heard nothing but good things about. I haven't seen a bad review of this at all. So I am super excited. I've been wanting to get into John Green for a while, but kept putting it off for whatever reason. The back says, "Who is the real Margot? Quentin Jacobson has spent a lifetime loving the magnificently adventurous Margot Ross Spiegelman from afar. So when she cracks open the window and climbs into his life, dressed like a ninja and summoning him for an ingenious campaign of revenge, he follows. After their all-nighter ends and a new day breaks, Q arrives at school to discover that Margot, always an enigma, has now become a mystery. But Q soon learns that there are clues, and they're for him. Urged down a disconnected path, the closer he gets, the less Q sees the girl he thought he knew." The best things I've heard about this book have been about the characters. I've heard that John Green writes the best characters, so I'm really excited to get into that, and I think this will be a good first step into the John Green world, so we will see how that goes. The next book that we have is Delirium by Lauren Oliver, and I have heard some mixed reviews about this. I've heard that it's really amazing, but I have also heard that it's just okay. So I'm trying not to get my hopes too high. The thing that I've heard the most is that it just starts off really slow. So we'll see how that goes. I find myself getting frustrated when it comes to slow books. So we'll see what happens with this, but I'm still excited to read it. So that is all I got today. I got all of those books from Barnes & Noble, if you were wondering. Right now, I am currently reading Clockwork Angel by Cassandra Clare, the first book in the Infernal Devices trilogy. I am only 15 pages in on that because I just started reading it like last night. So I'm not going to get to these until after I finish that, and I think I'll read Beauty Queens after that. So that is an update on what I am reading. So I was browsing through Barnes & Noble today, just browsing around on the shelves and the tables, looking at freaking every single book because I had time to kill, so I was like, well, might as well. And I came across Game of Thrones. If you guys don't know, I've been dying to read that book, but at the same time, I don't want to read the book because it's like ginormous. And I'm not one against big books, but it's very intimidating. That was actually going to be one of the books that I bought. So I picked it up and I'm like, yes, I'm gonna get it. I opened it, looked at it, closed it, put it down, and like ran away like someone was coming after me with a knife. I literally got scared by the book. A book scared me. I got scared by a book. It was so intimidating, so I ended up getting something else. I am going to pick it up. I am going to read it, but you know, I have to edge my way there. It's a big book with tiny letters. It's scary. Leave me alone. So I will read it eventually. Probably not for a little bit, but I will read it because I love the TV show. So I'd really love to see how the book compares to the TV show. And that is my stupid story of the day. I'll see you guys later. Bye.